So, tonight is the expansion draft. In case you didn't know, it's going to be on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I think it's going to be on Sportsnet. Now, I can go on and on talking about Seattle, who they're going to be taking, whatever. But you know what? A lot of people are doing that. One thing I haven't really noticed is I haven't really seen a proper welcome to the NHL for the Seattle Kraken. Now, I gathered up all my different team NHL jerseys because I feel like we need as many jerseys up here for a proper welcome, because they're going to be taking some players from these teams, except for the Vegas Golden Knights for some reason, which I think is stupid. But let's give Seattle a proper welcome to the NHL. Now, welcome, Seattle. Beautiful jerseys, I will say. Love the name. Huge fan of the name. Love the logo. I'm a big fan of it. But I will say, for an expansion team, if you're going to be touching any of my favorite players, the only player that you guys are allowed to touch on my team, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs Seattle, is Travis Sturmett or Alex Kerfoot. If you guys dare to touch Jason Spezza, it is all-out war. And I'm not talking about for me. He's not coming to your team. So welcome to the NHL for that. So you guys are new here. Maybe he'll give you guys a pass, but he will still threaten to retire. He is basically the 9th player that the Leafs are, or the 10th player that the Leafs are protecting. Now, you guys might realize that I was pretty harsh, huh? I wasn't that harsh. Welcome to Leafs Twitter. Leafs Twitter is basically a war zone 24/7. Nobody is happy on not Leafs Twitter, hockey Twitter. Nobody's happy on hockey Twitter ever. Everybody's got something to complain about. Doesn't matter if it's about a player, a call that was made the night before, a call that was made for player safety, which especially for player safety, I hope you guys realize George Peros is gonna go very easy on players that got injured. But hockey Twitter is dangerous. I would recommend staying off it. Mute every single account that follows you and you follow. It's not worth it being on hockey Twitter. I've been on hockey Twitter ever since I've had Twitter. Let's just say hasn't helped my mental stability. I mute a lot of accounts because of that. Hockey Twitter is basically a war zone, a forest fire, because that's pretty relevant in Northern Canada. Central Canada. An earthquake, any type of natural disaster. And basically, let's just say if it was, I can get canceled on hockey Twitter for saying this because it's that bad. Let's just say it's like an atomic bomb went off during a tropical storm and a war zone going on at the same time. You thought Call of Duty lobbies were bad? At least Call of Duty lobbies, everybody's yelling at each other and nobody's getting offended. Hockey Twitter, everyone's offended about something. It's bad. It's not fun. But you will see that there are some really good accounts. I'm a very big fan of Steve Dangle. I've been following him for I think since 2013, since Game 7 in 2013. Yeah, I've been following him since then. And then there's also guys like Mikey Stevens. I think it's Mikey Stevens 81. A bunch of Mikey Stevens. There's another thing on hockey Twitter. You're gonna find out there's a lot of Mikey Stevens. But there are some other good accounts you should follow on Leafs Twitter. But everyone else, stay the fuck away. Hockey Twitter is cancerous and it's garbage. I hate it. You should follow me, Seattle. I will say that. Follow me on Twitter at @Bonavoto_ with the capital B. But other than that, say you stay off of Twitter. Well, you're going to have to travel to other teams' arenas. And one arena that I think you should be very careful for is Philadelphia's. A lot of people like to talk about the Leaf fans and how they talk a lot, or Montreal fans. I don't think people realize, or I think people forget that Philadelphia is one of the Philadelphia is the epitome of a tumor. They are just cancerous and they just grow and grow and grow. You take it out, but it just comes back. Philadelphia, let's just say, for example, there was a time where Philadelphia, a legend died from the Philadelphia Flyers. They gave up wristbands. Well, during that game against the Washington Capitals, Philly was losing, and it was not a good game for Philadelphia. So let's just say for instance, this happens again. What's going to happen if you are badly outscoring Philly and just outplaying Philadelphia, and they give out an object for everybody to have in the arena? Well, you're going to get pelted by it. Philly is not your Philly. It doesn't matter if you are the Philadelphia Flyers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Phillies, which I don't really think people care about the Phillies as much because I don't think anybody's throwing anything, or if you're the 76ers. If you were given something that night, or if there's something that can be thrown, like for instance, if it's snowing and people can throw snowballs, especially if you're Santa, it's going to get thrown at you. So Seattle, welcome to the league. Hopefully you guys never have to deal with that, because you guys will be out in the Pacific Conference, meaning that you're not going to have to play Philly a lot. You're going to only have to play them 2 times a year. You'll be fine. But just be careful with Philadelphia fans. They have a great mascot, shitty fans. But let's just say you guys play the Leafs. Well, if you're playing the Leafs and you're up 4-1, let me just tell you this right now, don't worry about it. Coming from a Leaf fan, being up 4-1 is the most stressful thing in the world. Look, I got a Toronto Maple Leaf bottle because I got to stay hydrated because of the amount of times they make me cry. Okay? How much they make you cry? Not really, but how much they metaphorically make me cry. It drains me and it dehydrates me because that's a lot of water that's being wasted. So I got to drink a lot of water, which Seattle fans, I hope you guys never have to go through what the Leafs are going through. I hope. But at the end of the day, if it does happen, I will laugh about it because it's hilarious to see other teams go through it, but it's so torturous to have your team go through it. You can laugh at Leaf fans. Leaf fans, there's one thing that Seattle fans, I think you should realize, and Seattle Kraken, what you guys should realize. Leaf fans hate the team as probably more than you. No Leaf fan is happy. If you have a friend that's a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, ask them how they're doing. Seattle, ask how Leaf fans are doing, and nobody's gonna tell you that we're fine. We're not fine. I'm fine because Italy just won the Euros, but every time I see this logo, it makes me want to throw this jersey into the closet because I don't want to see it. Oh, that's another thing. Burning jerseys. Hopefully, you guys never have to experience this, but you probably will. Don't have as much heartbreak and don't take it too seriously, Seattle fans, to the point where you're going to burn jerseys. Now, you guys, Seattle has some of the best fans in the world or in North America for sports. The Seattle Seahawks fans are... I feel like I'm not going to like Seattle because of their fans, to be honest with you. But Seattle Seahawks fans are very passionate. I will say that. Now, one thing I'm pretty sure a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans are going to know is jersey burning. Well, maybe not, because they've been a pretty successful team in this past decade or so. But Seattle, your team might not be so good. They're not going to be the Seattle Seahawks right away. They're going to be, let's just say, like the Seattle Seahawks of, I don't know. The only low that I could think of Seattle is when Hasselbeck said that he's going to throw the ball and score a touchdown, and Al Harris caught that interception and scored to win for the Packers in overtime. Which, fun fact, Seattle, I'm a Packers fan, so have fun with that. I don't like your football team, but it's not going to go easy on you guys. So keep the jersey burning to a zero maximum. Let's not burn the jerseys yet. If you guys get knocked out in the playoffs, don't be like Vegas, the most annoying expansion franchise there is. A team that's, we haven't won a Stanley Cup in 4 years. Boo-hoo. You guys don't be like Vegas where they make the conference finals 3 out of the 4 years and cry that they are not a successful franchise and that they've gone through so much pain. Also, don't cry that you guys haven't seen a playoff win since your team, like 5 years down the line. I'm 21, and the only thing that I have to say that the Leafs have done is won a playoff series in 2004, which I was too young to remember, and saw Austin Matthews get drafted first overall. Oh, cool. They had 2013. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, 2017 against the Washington Capitals, crazy. 2018 against the Bruins, fantastic. 2019, 2020, whatever. Don't go crying, because I'm 21 years old, and the only successful thing that I've seen the Leafs have done was draft Austin Matthews. Maybe we could say 2017 against the Washington Capitals, but that's nothing compared to what the Seattle Kraken are going through. What else? You're going to have to be careful for... Now, here's another thing. One thing I realized with especially hockey Twitter, I'm going to go back to hockey Twitter real quick because it's a big topic of welcome to the NHL, because that's a huge thing. Oh, actually, another thing. George Peros. Let's talk about player safety, because I mentioned it before. We should talk about it a little bit more. Seattle, before coming to league, I think you guys should realize. You guys should know this now. George Peros doesn't give a fuck about your team. He just likes to keep dirty players, to allow them to keep playing, only get them fined. Thomas Wilson might make a run on a player. For some reason, like, it's just unprovoked. He'll make a run at a player. I don't know. Let's just say Vladimir Tarasenko, because it's looking like he's going to be playing for you guys. Wilson will probably make a run at, say, Tarasenko. Injured Tarasenko. And you're going to say, oh, suspend him, whatever. Don't be disappointed when he doesn't get suspended, because for some reason, Tom Wilson has immunity in this league. So welcome to the league when you have your first Tom Wilson incident with them. George Peros doesn't care about your player safety at all. He only wants to see maximum hits and minimum fines. But another thing about player safety. Now, one thing that we saw with the name, when you guys first released the name, was the nicknames that were coming out of this. And I thought they were funny. But there's a lot of snowflakes on hockey Twitter. I'm not a big fan of that. There's a lot of people that like to get offended. And it doesn't matter if it's a joke or not. If you say something offensive, you're automatically going to get canceled. So please don't call your fans the crackheads, and don't call your arena the crack house unless you want to have your team move to Quebec City. Which also, Seattle, please make this a successful franchise, unlike Arizona, where we've seen a great team have to get moved to a shitty area. For some reason, Winnipeg had to be moved to Arizona. Don't know why. Please, Seattle fans, you guys are fantastic football fans. You guys have been crying to have your basketball team back. You have the greatest sport in your city now. Hockey is the best sport out of all the sport. Out of every sport in the world, hockey is the best. I don't care what anybody says. Enjoy it. Please keep your team, because Seattle's a beautiful area, and you guys have a beautiful jersey and a beautiful arena, beautiful name. It's too perfect for you guys not to work and for some reason to be moved to Phoenix. Which, the Arizona Coyotes, I should warn you guys about this one. When you're making a deal with the Arizona Coyotes, don't worry about it. You're going to win the trade no matter what. When you're making a deal with Arizona, it's like stealing candy from a baby. Somehow, New Jersey got tons of assets for Arizona to only have 1 year of Taylor Hall and for him to play like garbage. Arizona hasn't had a first-round pick, I think, in the last 3 years. Last year, they only had 3 picks. Or, sorry, their first pick in the draft last year was their 4th-round pick. And even then, that pick didn't go so well because they don't know how to pick players that don't go through shit. Or don't cause shit. So when dealing with the Arizona Coyotes for your expansion draft, I noticed a talented player is available in Christian Fisher. Don't hesitate to take him. Don't take any deals from from Arizona, because they don't have a first-round pick to offer to you. Who else? Arenas to look out for. I feel like we should be talking about that. Key arenas to keep a watch out for. If you're coming to Toronto, unless it's on Saturday night, it's not going to be a packed. It's going to be a packed house. It's not going to be loud. It's going to be a very quiet building when you're in Toronto on a non-Saturday night, so I wouldn't worry about that. So just don't worry about coming to the ACC unless you somehow play them in the Stanley Cup Finals, which the Leafs have to get through the first round of the playoffs for them to play you guys in the Stanley Cup Finals. I wouldn't worry about the Scotiabank Arena. One arena that you should look out for, like I said before, Philadelphia. Watch out for them because if you're beating them badly, you might get something thrown at you. You're lucky that your team isn't full of Santa Clauses and it's impossible for to snow in the arena. So you won't have any snowballs thrown at you guys dressed in Santa Claus outfits. But I would be careful if they have bracelets of legends because they might have them throw that at you if you guys are beating them about like 4-0 or more. You guys should look out for the Centre de Bell or the Bell Center in English. Because for some reason, a separatist state is called Canada's team. A city that doesn't want to be part of Canada, a province that doesn't want to be part of Canada per se, is called Canada's team. You might think that's strange, but for some reason, Justin Trudeau and John Tory don't. So when going to Le Centre de Bell, don't just beat them. Coming from Leaf fan, just beat them. Beat the ever-living shit out of them. You're going to learn that Montreal fans are the worst. Worse than Philly fans. Montreal, their people... Montreal is basically the Florida of Canada, but the people are basically like the Philadelphians of Canada as well. Philadelphia is garbage. Montreal is that, but in French. Who else? You should be careful with Boston. Boston people are nice and all, but if you decide to draft PK Subban in the expansion draft from the New Jersey Devils, they might make monkey noises at them because a lot of the times they like to say racist stuff in Boston. That's just Boston for you. You'll learn that just in one year, out the other. Or, the NHL will just make an Instagram post about it. What else do we got? Which, by the way, don't say racist shit to players. Just don't be an idiot. Let me be real about that. I'm being real right now. Don't be racist. We saw the same thing that happened to the English players. Instead of, hurling monkey noises at a player, why don't you go read a book? Be a genuinely good person. Just fuck you if you're racist. Back on track. You should be careful if you're going to be in Nashville. Now, Nashville's a lot of the country singing. A lot of songs about, driving in your pickup truck with your dog in the front seat and your sister in the back seat while drinking beer. Because an ice cold beer never broke my heart. Great song, by the way. But if you're going to be in Nashville, please be careful if you get scored on because you're going to be very much annoyed. Doesn't matter if it's Carey Price and at Chris Dredger, which I heard that he's supposed to be signing with them. And it looks like it's going to be a good contract too. So cheers to you, Seattle. But when you're in Nashville, be careful if you get scored on. It's very annoying. They love to scream, "You suck," at your goalie. Meanwhile, Nashville kind of sucks to begin with. They haven't gotten past the first round since they made the Stanley Cup Finals. And it looks like they lost that PK Subban deal because they had to go and trade him away because they decided to sign Matt Duchene, who would be funny if he scores in Nashville when he is a Seattle Kraken. Who else? Chicago's a nice arena. I just be careful if you're outside of Chicago, outside of the main city of Chicago. They have, let's just say, the only shooters that they have in Chicago aren't just on the ice. That is dark. Don't cancel me for that. Who else we got over here? The great city of Edmonton. The Texas of Toronto. Alberta, sorry, I should say. It's more Calgary, that's whatever. But Alberta, the Texas of Toronto, Oilers, the Flames, you have Cowboys over there. Be careful over there because they're fans. They're not French, so they're not as annoying as Montreal fans, but they are just as delusional or way more delusional. The Edmonton Oilers fans as Toronto fans. I have never seen so much optimism in a team until they get knocked out and then they hate their team more than the Leaf fans are. Calgary fans, I'm pretty sure they've just given up on the team. I don't even think I've seen a Calgary fan. So unless the game's on, I don't think I've seen a Calgary fan outside of their arena. So I won't be too worried about it. Calgary's the whipping boy of Alberta. Don't worry about it. Then you have Vancouver. If you're in Vancouver, who is basically your neighbors, if you're playing in Vancouver and you beat them in the conference finals, somehow you guys play them in the Stanley Cup finals. Who knows? Be careful. If you guys play them in Vancouver, I leave that city right away. They might burn your bus down before you guys leave because they love to burn things after their team loses. But if it is what it is, just get on a plane and get the fuck out of Vancouver. Beautiful place to visit. If you're another team that's in Vancouver and you beat their team, just get the hell out of there ASAP. Who else do we got over here? Colorado. Colorado's a fun team to watch, but there was at one point, it's funny because when weed was first made legal, their team was shit. And I'm pretty sure the reason why they made weed legal over there is because of how bad their team was. Now the team is fine, so I'm pretty sure weed isn't being as used as much in Denver. But they still have the Broncos, so if I'm a Broncos fan, I'd probably be using that. I'd probably be smoking weed, which I don't smoke weed, by the way, because I don't care for that shit. So don't worry, Seattle. I'm a good boy. I only drink water. I'm not going to specify what other things I drink. I love to drink bubbly, though. Bubbly water. Sorry, bubbly. Oh, I should remind you guys this now. You guys might get surprised that Minnesota's a hockey team. Because I was thinking of teams, what other things I could say to you, and I surprised myself, and I got surprised because I forgot that Minnesota is a hockey team. Which don't be like Minnesota because they just had a player win rookie of the year, and there's a potential. It's a very big. It could happen that they lose their Calder winning rookie to go back to Russia. Don't be like Minnesota, where you guys have one fantastic year and then be boring for the rest of your lifespan. Just don't be like them. I think that's going to be it for this week. Seattle, welcome to the league. I'm excited to see you guys play in your first ever NHL game. I can't wait to see those jerseys hit the ice. If you would like to send me a jersey, please, after you guys select Carey Price, I would love to have a Carey Price jersey, a Carey Price Seattle Kraken jersey. But that's all for this week. Seattle, welcome to the league. I'm happy you guys are a team. Seattle's a great city. I hope you guys aren't weak as I hope you guys aren't as mentally weak as the people of Seattle when you say a dark joke. But you can follow. Hey Seattle, you can follow me on Instagram at Bonavoda if you guys have any more questions to ask me about, what to expect in this league. You can also follow the podcast on my Instagram at Bonavoda or at Leading the Pack Pod. I probably won't answer any messages over there, Seattle. But if you want to follow me there, see any video clips or know when I'm going to be releasing another episode, follow me there. Or if you want to just tweet at me, Seattle, you can just follow me on Twitter at Bonavoda_ with the capital B. You can also listen to my podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, and anywhere else I use podcasts. Or if you want to watch the video version to see my vast array of jerseys, and if you want to see your jersey on my Jersey Wall Seattle, send it to me. You can watch the podcast at Leading the Pack Podcast on YouTube. That's all for this week. I will see y'all next week when Seattle has a team. Ciao.